So today, folks, we have the one and only Kriss Saunders talking about holidays and stuff, I imagine. Over to you, Kriss.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you very much. It's going to be a bit of a photo thing, really, because I thought that went really nicely last week. So I thought, why not do that this week? So Arc Adventure, kind of go on the basis of incredible experiences and inspiring destinations. We do don't just focus on places, but there's a whole range of different niches that we really like to work in. For us, as a tour operator, because we've got a lot of the partnerships on the ground where we send people, we put a lot of these different things together. So we work in these niche areas, so then we can put those together with the likes of the partnerships that we like to put together, like I mentioned a few times, like yoga wellness, with dive shops, adventure centres, and so on. So that's just an example of a few there. But as the number one place I talk about, the most photos I'm going to do is with Sri Lanka, and I know that's Africa, but in the background of that, but I just wanted, that's just what came up when I typed in Sri Lanka on PowerPoint, you know. So here, this is Sigiriya Rock. If you do a standard tour of Sri Lanka, this is generally one of the places you visit. Absolute tourist hotspot, and you got all the baths here as well. And as you get closer, where the steps are, you've got like lion's feet as well, which is absolutely incredible. And as you walk up the steps of Sigiriya, you got all art, like the old paintings and everything, very sacred. You can't take photos, that kind of thing, but absolutely fascinating place. Mineriya National Park, elephants, biggest concentration of elephants that you get in Sri Lanka is within Mineriya National Park. And the flavors that you get in Sri Lanka, my first taste of Sri Lanka was the first night I got there, was the mango chutney having spice, like having chili in it. And it was just absolutely incredible. Not like the rubbish you get in a supermarket here, like homemade chili flakes, absolutely delicious. And that's one of the things, as you go around Sri Lanka, number one thing we always do is stop for king coconuts. So it's all about getting these experiences. This is Gul, which, as you can tell, another part of what we like to capture about a country is the culture and heritage. So this isn't British influence particularly. This one's Portuguese and Dutch influence. And as you can tell, this is a lot of the architecture that was put there back in some of the colonial times. As you've seen in my background, surfing is one of the major things that Sri Lanka is famous for. You won't necessarily know that unless you're a surfer or you like the water, like Jen and myself. And they do actually have competitions there as well. So that's another thing, like another kind of partnership that we look to build is with surfers and surf clubs as well. There is everything about a country is the scenery that you're surrounded by as well. So this is up in Ella, and this is, for us, it's about knowing these kind of places to send people. So there's wooden huts, and you look out of these wooden huts if you look up 98 Acres Resort, it's very nice. And you have this view kind of going down into the tea country and the valleys. And you can see Yala National Park, which is many miles away. But let's just see. But part of the tour you would do is by going on train. So it's, again, you could do everything by car, but going by train gives you a whole different experience. So you can dangle out of a train. If you read the government advice on Sri Lanka, it says that's the kind of most dangerous thing about Sri Lanka is hanging out of a train. But I've done it and survived, so can you. But with the team that we work with in Sri Lanka, if you're going to go in a larger group, we'll book out a whole carriage and really make the experience a lot more authentic for customers, and that's the flexibility that we've got. So I showed you a lot of the things are about the highlights and the main destinations that people go in Sri Lanka. But like anywhere, there's the tourist hotspots, and then you've got the slightly off the beaten track aspects. So you've got Anuradhapura is a really popular place, and this is an alternative. So if you wanted to beat the crowds, or you knew people that wanted to beat the crowds, we can do that for our customers. In Kumana National Park, as you can see, where that is down in the bottom. I've got very close to Yala National Park, but the difference is Yala National Park, you might see quite a few different people following the elephants. So you and about 10 different trucks. Here, you could, it's so different that you can actually get out and walk with the wildlife. Maybe not with the leopards quite as such, but it just shows that that's the difference of the kind of things that we offer. Is we don't just do all the tourist stuff, we do all that. A big partnership that we've built over the last, or starting to build over the last few weeks, is putting on really incredible tea tours. So that's actually with somebody that's already importing their tea, really knows the process, and they want to pass that on to their customers. So we're putting together that same experience for so he can pass that on to his customers and take people out onto these tours. So it's the full experience from the tea picking to everything else. And again, that's Kumar Sangakkara for anybody that loves cricket. I don't think we've got so many in this room, but we've got experiences where, so this more following going for school tours and aspects, you'll sit down with Kumar Sangakkara and have dinner, and you can have a Q&A with him. Or if you like the business retreat, I'm aiming to have somebody like, it'll be Kumar Sangakkara, could be Jaya Sarir, could be Lasif Malinga, sit down and actually have a hosted experience. And again, these are the things that we've built these kind of relationships in many countries around the world. But there you go. We've got famous authors of Sri Lanka, artists, hikers, ones that have done documentaries that you would have seen on Nat Geo, chefs, the planters, rangers. And just as a quick list, I know it's a very whistle-stop tour, but there's just some of these people that we work really well with just there. And here's just a couple of luxury places that you can stay, just for the people that like the finer things, with this nice, sustainable and credible tour of Sri Lanka. There you go. I only got a few of you. I can see the smiles like that. That looks like home to me. But we don't just do Sri Lanka. I just thought let's start with Sri Lanka because that's the one I talk about the most, and we've got our own brand, encountersrilanka.com, for that. But it just shows. Everyone always asks me, what about your pricing? So here's just a few other experiences that we do. And I said we start in the UK. So here's just a few things that you can do. I don't have time to go through them all because I've done 33 slides. Here you go, flexible breaks, coastal, country, weekend breaks. If you think about doing something for a couple of days in the UK, I can probably do that for you, or for people that you know. Here's some longer breaks. So up in Scotland, we've got like day experience as well. If you like your whiskey, those kind of experiences, we can kind of put all these things together. A lot of this is more with our partners that we work with rather than as a tour operator. But it just shows that because the relationships that we've really built, we've focused on building sustainable suppliers, people that really provide these incredible experiences. So then we can provide the best for people that travel with us. It's just some really random ones as well. Just a few mini breaks, but as you can see, you're talking for the Amazons houseboat retreat from 315 per group. So not everything to do with travel has to cost the earth, as it were. So we can be sustainable and affordable. Again, going out into Europe, so you see a lot of people, obviously the Greek islands are in the news a lot at the moment, but if you wanted to visit 3 or 4 of those Greek islands, we can put all of that together for you. We've got ranges of suppliers, whether it's accommodation, the transfers, all of those that we can put together. And Lapland's usually on most people's bucket list. And we've got a whole very diverse range of experiences. It is more expensive one. Here you go, family of 4, £4,500 off the beaten track in Lapland. But if you look at a day price going to Lapland, it's when you do it, it's a once in a lifetime, and you want to do it properly, not just think where's all the money gone. But so fjords going. So we also work with some expedition crews companies, so much smaller boats, a lot more eco-friendly and sustainable. They can take you to some of the most incredible places. And again, it's just some more examples of the places. So Norway, but again, we do this, you know, going through Finland. It doesn't have to be Lapland for Finland, Sweden, and so on. Central and Southern America. That's so Costa Rica. If you wanted to learn diving and do scuba diving out there, one of my good friends that I met in Mexico owns a dive shop there, and we've linked with them. So we've got loads of strategic partnerships, and that's all over South America. I just don't have enough time to go through every destination, so I picked Costa Rica out. But again, as you can see, it's not, you know, for a long haul adventure, and the experiences and the amount that you would get into that, like visiting like landmarks at Arenal volcano, seeing these cuties, you know, from coast to coast, you get an awful lot for your money there. I mean, people we work with really do look after you. Had to get Mexico in there because that's where I spent a lot of time. Absolutely incredible place, lots of great things that some I will share, some I won't share, but yeah, really cool experiences. And again, it's, most people would think, from my experience, everyone's like, oh yeah, I want to go to Cancun, go to a 5-star resort. I'm like, get into the airport, drive south, get out, get away from Cancun, because actually the experiences you're going to get, and if you want the local flavors, better flavors, not your Americanized flavors, and everything along those lines, that's what you want to see. Africa, this is actually Uganda. Somebody was sent back in March, so I wanted to put this on and just show, actually this is customers' photos. These were sent by WhatsApp whilst we're out there, so we look after our customers all the way through their journey if they've got any issues, or they just want to tell us they're having a great time, which is always nice. That's what they do. It's actually on Koh Samui. That's where my parents live, which is why I thought let's put a little plug for Koh Samui. Not those places. That's just two nice. That's just two different nice hotels there. But yeah, we cover all of Asia because it's great for diving. Two, it's got, you know, really immersive, adventurous experiences that you could really, and you can have a really nice massage, which I'm very impartial to. And as I said a few times, we love diving. So anywhere in the world you can go diving. Mesoamerican Barrier Reef, the Great Barrier Reef, all over Asia. If you know people that like diving, then we're really good people to talk to. But with our sustainability aspect, we don't just do everything by air. We do have access to the Eurostar tickets. We got train journeys. So people that don't know, or even people that are scared of flying, we can take people all over Europe and you're on a train. So you can see, you can imagine the countryside you can see if you wouldn't see. Yeah. So as I've said a few times, good introductions. I know I'm pressed for time, so I'll just whiz through. And we started an ARC referral club. So ARC stays in the name, but ARC referral club, which is our affiliate program. So people earn 25% of our profit by referring holidays to us. We thought this is a really good thing to really push. One, it's good for people like UW partners and people that are maybe already doing kind of customer related referral aspects. And the reason we charge a small fee is just because it takes a lot of our time, and we do put on training and support people. So if you know people that would like, you know, a bit of extra income, or really passionate about travel and know lots of people that travel, then why not put us in touch with them and see we can work with them. Because we have a Facebook group and a Facebook page with lots of offers, and we just literally throw lots of information at people, and whatever they're passionate about they can refer into. There you go. Thank you.